Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a little behind the scenes on the song Waging Away. I got the FL Studio project open, so we'll dive into it and take a look at some of the more interesting parts I have on this song. The first thing I'll point out is during this intro section that we have here, there's a couple things I'm going to break down. So I'm going to go ahead and isolate this extra vocals down here, which is that initial speaking part that happens at the start of the song.
Yeah, can I have the two taco combo, light on the salsa, no guacamole, please, and extra sour cream?
So that's what that section sounds like. I boosted it up just a little bit there because it kind of hides behind the track there. The other part I'll point out is that announcement vocal that happens at the start of the song, which is on this track here.
The white zone is for pickups and deliveries only. If you're picking up or driving out, go to the white zone.
Which is a little reference to a song from a certain album that I enjoy quite a bit. The other thing I'll point out about this intro really quick
Yeah, can I have the two taco
is
combo?
this
The white
melody
sauce.
line here. So what the vibraphone, the viola, as well as that top part of the piano, and then I'm going to isolate, I believe it's on the lead guitar track as well. That, as well as what happens later in the song, this little line. Those two parts there are used at the very end of the song, Don't Let the Guac Turn Brown. So during that final polka verse that happens at the end of Don't Let the Guac Turn Brown, that's the melody line that's being played by all the instruments at the end of the song. And I think it's a fun way to kind of bow tie this song along with Don't Let the Guac Turn Brown. But we'll go ahead and restart it from the top here now that we've covered those parts.
Yeah, can I have the two taco combo?
The
Light
white
on the
zone is
salsa.
for pickups and deliveries only.
As per usual, we have the two guitar parts here. The lead section is played by a Stratocaster. And it has a little bit of the Boss chorus pedal on it. The super chorus is what's being used there. And then the rhythm guitar, like most of the rest of the album, is the Epiphone ES335. Which also has a little bit of chorus on it too.
If you're picking up or driving out, go to the white zone.
I'm an intermediate level.
And then once we get into this verse format here, what ends up happening is the two guitar parts, the rhythm guitar, that Epiphone does this kind of almost standard just strumming pattern, where the Stratocaster does these kind of little arpeggio licks. And a bit of that is also reflected in the vocals as well. The vocal tracks, I double just the last line of each of the verses, so there's a little doubling there, but it's nothing super significant.
I'm an intermediate level culinary craftsman who's employed at a widely known cornerstone of Latin American dietary culture.
And then as you can see, once we hit about this second verse here, the trombone moves to third, so it's playing the third of what the bass guitar is playing during this section and forward.
Hours are long and the crowds are hard, but we carry on until the day is gone. My uniform is corporate, I've memorized my script.
And then there we get the lead guitar doing that main melody line, which the viola and the vibraphone are playing.
Feels like I'm being whipped, but that's how I get my tune.
And then we get another little musical reference here as well.
I'm stay, I'm just waging away.
Fairly funky chord progression there for the chorus, but I enjoy it. I think it's a good contrast to how the verses are structured, and it's a fairly simple structure for that. And then we get into this kind of funky extension territory during the chorus.
Hair is turning gray, my mind, it starts to...
The guitars during this part are basically doing the exact same thing as each other. And I think, if I remember right, yeah, I turned both of these a bit more down whenever I finalized this mix, just because I almost thought it sounded a little too train-like. But that's just my ears for it.
Hair is started here last May, there's no delay, I keep waging away.
And then during this last repetition of the chorus, we add on this vibraphone part, which does this arpeggio up and down throughout the chords that the piano is playing. And ultimately, this is part of that transition at the end of the song.
With my tools in my hand, I'll continue to stand and create a grand piece at a pro.
Nice little plosive on the grand piece there.
Routine art, I'm doing my part to win every heart. This isn't where I thought I'd be, especially since my degree count is 3 and the rent is high and the pay is low. There's no room to grow, and yes, of...
And then another little fun one is this Stratocaster sting as we go into this second section of the chorus.
course I know halfway day they say I must stay, I'm just waging away. Hair is turning gray, my mind, it starts to stray, I'm just waging away. Started here last May, there's no delay, I keep waging away.
And then as we hit the end of the song here, there's no fade out or anything in this section, so it can transition into Don't Let the Guac Turn Brown. And the chords that we use at the end of this is this C minor 7 and this D dominant 7 here at the end.
At least on the bright side, it couldn't get much worse here.
And I think that D dominant 7 really highlights that something's about to happen, especially if you just isolate the guitar tracks here. Little alarming. And then on top of that, we also add in, I believe this is 2 different vocal takes. It might be the same. Yeah, it might be the same, just slightly different, but we add on this extra vocals is the outro line, just to have that radio effect to it like I do in the beginning of the song.
At least on the bright side, it couldn't get much worse here.
Which, that is ultimately just a filter effect here, so this is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure this is based off of the radio setting. Yeah, so that's what that is, but it's basically just a sweeped high pass and low pass filter here, which keeps you within this range. That was a little behind the scenes of the song Waging Away from Solely Term. Check out the song on your favorite streaming platform or here on YouTube. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on all Ensemble Instant releases. After all, music can often be an instant.